Hello, my name is Wolf, and welcome back to a different kind of video. Well, not a different kind, because I have done a theory video in the past. But I wanted to go over something. Now, a lot of people have said that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is not canon to the games, or it's canon to it like the books. But what if I told you both of those assumptions were wrong? What if I told you that the movie was actually canon to the games? And it makes most sense for the most part. Of course, there's a couple of hiccups that we'll discuss later and discuss possible things that make more sense. But that's just it. That's just it. One thing straight. If it is canon, it is canon. Now here's why. Here's why. So let's say for Williamson has Michael, Elizabeth, and Evan. But Vanessa's the oldest kid, not Michael. Because it makes sense. It makes sense. Because when Willie gets stuffed, Michael's in jail. The mother's dead. Elizabeth scooped, and Evan is in the Golden Freddy suit. And Vanessa going to coma makes perfect sense. Because then Michael gets out, Vanessa's in a coma, which leaves Michael to clean up William's mess, not Vanessa. It also explains why Vanessa becomes a game detective for Help Wanted, and eventually finds herself in Security Breach. That makes perfect sense. Now, as for Michael Schmidt and Abby Schmidt, it makes a little more sense as to when you go to the FNAF 1 game as Michael, the picture you get was Michael Schmidt's, because if seeing the movie, Michael Schmidt never got his paycheck, which means the paycheck could be there. And obtainable, someone claimed to be Michael Schmidt. And both being named Michael is kind of easy to do that. Now, it's not the Final Freddy's 1 game location we played in. It's the one before it. Before the toy animatronics. Which makes sense if they're doing a sequel, that it would tie into the second game, which is a prequel to the first. Because if it isn't, there's not gonna be any toys. There's not gonna be any puppet. That's squashed. That's gone. Now, that leaves at least two little hiccups in this whole assortment of things. The year the game takes place, and Garrett. Because we know William kills the kids. That's explanatory. He kills the kids. Now, assuming he killed Garrett is unlikely. Because if all five of the kids possess the animatronics, unless Garrett's possessing the cupcake, that would make sense. Because we know Henry still exists within this game. Eventually, and his daughter would have already been dead. And it's likely that Gale got killed outside of the restaurant, so he would not have possessed any of the animatronics. Because it doesn't seem that Michael, nor Abby, nor anyone had any way about knowledge about Freddy's. Which is very strange. Because they had zero knowledge about Freddy's. So if that is the case, the argument for Gale becoming a puppet makes zero sense. Because the puppet was programmed to look out for a specific child. In the games, it was Henry's daughter. Now, if Michael's dad is not the programmer, it's not Henry, it makes no sense that it would possess the puppet or Golden Freddy. And we know Golden Freddy is Cassidy and the bite victim. And just to check. If you look in the screenshot, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 kids. 5 kids, the 5 animatronics, the cupcake included. So one of these children is possessing the cupcake. Alright. And I don't see a particular reason how Gale would end up possessing Golden Freddy. If what I believe to be true is correct, it's Evan in the suit. Due to being bitten. Being the bite victim of 83. And it makes sense why the location is different if it's the first location. And when we see in FNAF 1, is either a brand new location entirely or a remodeled, or the FNAF original location we see in the movie remodeled. Likely one of the two. The only problem with this theory is the year, which I think that's like if it's claimed the year takes place in 2000, it's likely the same. Like the general same thing that we've gone before, where they gave us different year to throw us off. Because it wouldn't be actually the first time we did it. And if William has 4 kids instead of 3, it makes perfect sense. Vanessa doing all being comaed, Michael being in jail, Evan and Elizabeth and the mother being dead. It makes perfect sense as to why it's only William and his daughter, William and Vanessa. By the time we see that photo. But yeah, the only thing that truly struggles is Garrett. Like, does he just like I think he just gets killed, and the plane gets given to Vanessa. Did Blumhouse ever confirmed who's possessing who? They don't confirm who possesses who, other than those kids. So they don't even confirm who's possessing Golden Freddy. So that largely could be true. Ooh. But yeah. The theory isn't perfect, nor is it part. It's only perfect. But if it's correct, that's gonna be kind of astonishing. And if it's correct, that means we get Toy Chica, Bonnie, and Toy Freddy in the sequels. If this game takes place in the past. Obviously, the movies, yeah, it wouldn't make very much sense. But logically, Gale could be possessing the Bloom Boy figure. Because that thing is possessed. And it resembles a toy. The same a toy that was given to Vanessa. But Vanessa was given a toy from Garrett. And it makes sense because that blue boy is a bobblehead toy. Which means he could be possessing that. Now Garrett possessing Gone Freddy makes, again, just zero sense in my general opinion. But yeah, and it would make a whole lot of sense if it's the FNAF 1 location, the one playing the games, is the remodeled version of what we see in the movies. That would explain why the kitchen lights are shut off, because that's who William is. And still is, and doesn't really still around like 30 to 40 years later in the events of FNAF 3. And then obviously like 1 to 2 years later we get the events of Security Breach and then Ruin. And then timeline sense. So I guess all that would be left is to figure out what period did Vanessa wake up this Vanessa wakes up between Vanessa had to have waken up between after the events of Five Nights 3. No, shoot, no. Yeah, Vanessa would appear after the events of Pizza Simulator, after Pizza Simulator, and before Security Breach. Which that's just the general thing. Now I may put edits in this video. I may just leave it as a discussion video. Because I do have a lot of stuff I gotta do at the time of recording this. But yeah. So all that said, I truly believe that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is canon to the games and has a story we have yet to see. There's a story about the first location, before the remodeling, before the toys, William's death, because we know William Afton dies. William Afton dies before the events of FNAF 1 game. For this to make a ton of sense, William Afton dies before the events of FNAF 1 game. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know this video is kind of short. But pretty much that's some sort of the connection and makes it more of an open picture to the fact that this movie is canon to the games. It's just telling a story you get to see. It's telling a story of the first location. I don't know if we iterated a lot of this. But it just generally what makes sense to me, because Scott Cotton did work on this, so you could have put something to mislead us. I mean, look over the books. We misjudged that it wasn't canon to the games, and yet it ended up being canon to the games. It ended up predicting Security Breach, Ruin, and the fourth closet's probably going to be F1 and 2, or if in game, but they intend on releasing next year or the year after. So think about it. Let me know in the comments below. And I will see you guys later. So hit that subscribe button and let me know what you guys think. Am I wrong? Am I right? What are you guys' thoughts in regards to my theory? Let me know.